I'm reminded of a sentiment that you have shared before from an American soldier talking about his time in Iraq. And that sentiment was this: you know, when there's an Australian with you, they'll always have your back. A generous thought from a man of courage and character, Major Beau Biden. Mr. President, you have known far more than life's ordinary share of loss and grief. And you have been called to serve at a time when sadness and strife have cast a long shadow on our world. You understand that the task for all of us is to draw on the strength that hope instills, to look to the future, not just with optimism for better days, but with the determination to build a better world. And while we do indeed face testing times, our friendship is tried and tested. Our people are up for the challenge. Our alliance has been shaped by history and it is ready to shape the future. So, with optimism and with determination, let us pledge to make this a time when hope and history rhyme. Let us write the next chapter in our alliance together. I thank you, Mr. President.
Very generous. And besides, you got to vote on it. Besides, Tennessee, what's the history now? Record.
And we just heard President Biden and the Prime Minister of Australia there talking about our alliance. An alliance, the president says, has never been more important, and we have never been more committed. I want to go back to our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang, and our Pentagon reporter, Louis Martinez, for more. Selena, what did you make of the president's words, harking back to World War II, to the war on terror, talking about the history of the alliance, and then stressing how important it is today?
Well, exactly. You heard him there. He's really focusing on that deep and long partnership going more than a century. And he really focused on how these two countries are focused on upholding the democratic partnership. And we've heard the president frequently use this phrase to ensure the free and open Indo-Pacific, where no one fears coercion. He also mentioned that these nations stand united with Ukraine. He also focused a bit of his speech on innovation, which we had talked about earlier, how these two countries are coming together on artificial intelligence, on space collaboration. While the president did not directly or explicitly call out China, that was certainly looming in the background as he talked about enforcing those democratic partnerships and securing that free and open Indo-Pacific. Now, Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, he spent more time speaking about the Israel-Hamas conflict. He said Australians condemn the brutality of Hamas, but he also said that every life matters, Israeli and Palestinians, and had some stark remarks that protecting each individual, every civilian, is not a sign of weakness, but actually a sign of strength. This comes, as I've been hearing from my sources, that the U.S. is still pushing for a delay of that looming ground invasion in order to allow for more time for humanitarian aid to get into Gaza and for more of those hostages to be released. We are hearing from the international community here that the humanitarian focus needs to be clear, it needs to be in the center, and that the lives, all of the lives in this conflict matter.
Yeah, Louis, we heard the Prime Minister there say that the president has spoken with moral clarity on this issue, not only standing by Israel, but also expressing that every civilian life matters, both the Israeli lives lost and the Palestinian lives lost. What do you think that says to the international community amid this war now in the Middle East? What message does that send to Israel and to Hamas?
Well, it's as Selena is saying, Diane. I mean, the United States has been part of a growing chorus of countries that are urging restraint from Israel as it prepares to undertake what is likely a ground offensive into Gaza. That is going to something that is very significant because it's going to be an urban combat situation. There's the strong likelihood that civilians may be exposed to the combat, and that's something that I think President Biden, his senior advisors, and now you're hearing from other countries, urging restraint on the part of Israel as it prepares for something like this. We know you saw French President Macron there visiting yesterday, meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu, a similar message. And the question is, as you hear more world leaders kind of push that message. The question then becomes, will Israel listen? So as you heard from Selena there, from her sources, it sounds like the American effort is having some effect on Israel's potential for launching that ground invasion. The question is, how much of an effect? Will it push the offensive for way further to the right, or is it just something that they're considering and taking into account now and delaying momentarily as they prepare some measures to protect civilian lives? But the rhetoric, as we know from inside of Israel, continues to be strong, but you're now hearing this growing chorus internationally. And I just want to add one thing on China and the message that Selena brought up there. You did not hear the words China when the United States, when President Biden and Prime Minister Albanese were talking about their alliance. But one of the things that the Prime Minister said that, you know, our common alliance is not about essentially a foe. It is about our shared values. That, of course, that is a sublime reference to China. But I think it's an indication to China, look, don't look at our growing relationship, our traditional military relationship, our established military relationship. Don't look at it as a major concern. Just understand why we are interacting the way we do and why we are concerned by your behavior.
All right, Selena Wang, Louis Martinez, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.